So let's talk about the Warden here. So what's changed in this patch? Basically, the Warden, you know me, Templar PvP, I basically have the exact same back bar, plus or minus a couple different things. So channel focus for sustain, your major resistances, major mending, it's fantastic. You move out of it, great sustain. You gotta have that. Now, if you have a ridiculous sustain, you want to go with the other morph for just being ultra tanky. But for me, I find this is the best bet for the build for PvP healing. So I need that sustain. I need that a lot of magic. I go Argonian. Argonian, best sustain all across the board. Especially you tri-stat food, max values. You're getting tons of stamina back, and that's really, really important. People don't understand the importance of stamina as a healer in PvP, and they get smoked because of it. Extended Ritual, 5 negative effects. So when you're talking about cleansing, there's two things to cleanse. Self cleanses, and then also friendly cleanses. So this is something you're going to want to use on yourself if someone's using reverb, someone's dark flaring you. You have a bunch of harmful negative effects on you. Now when it's your group, you're going to want to use the Alliance War skill here, Efficient Purge. Downside of Efficient Purge, it's magic cost and it's only 2 effects, right? And you don't get to pick which effects are cleansed. So the way to keep your team mobile, the way to keep everyone moving in your group, regardless of the size of it, is this skill. So Dragonite comes in and Talons. Sork does Encase, Purge. Yeah, someone dark flares you or reverbs you, Extended Ritual. So you need to be cognizant of what you're using and why. The heal for this is nice. It is by far the most powerful Templar ability that we have. Yep. More powerful than Breath of Life. Guarantee it. This skill is what makes or breaks good Templars. Hands down. Elusive Mist. I could probably do a whole video series on this, on what to do. Essentially, this is our escapability. Removes negative effects, and you can't be CC'd while in it. So, someone talons you have a bunch of different options. You can cleanse it yourself, cleanse it on your group, or just misform out of it. Movement speed is key. Problem is you can't control your character or heal yourself while you're in this. But guess what? Troll King. Troll King health recovery does not apply to this. Another reason why Troll King is so powerful in vampires, that if you get low and you're in trouble, you need to escape, you have your heals over time with Extended Ritual and Rapid Regeneration, Troll King procs, that health recovery will actually not heal you per se, but your health will go up. So another reason why Troll King is so powerful for this build. And combine it with Vampire. Vampire, yeah, you have lower health recovery, but even 2-3k when it procs, you know, over 4 seconds, well, that's about 4,000 health that you can get that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. So, Elusiveness, essential. If you don't want to run Vampire, there's pretty much only one other thing you could do, and that is medium armor shuffle here. So, shuffle, depending on how many armor pieces, I'm not going to take the skill, but it gives you immunity to snares and immobilizes for a brief time. So you would use it after you get stunned, boom, and then do it that way. Next ability I changed Morph, Luminous Shards. Blazing Spear does more damage, but it doesn't have the stun component. Luminous is a disorient, and the reason that's useful is for blocking builds. So if someone's permanently blocking, guess what? Drop some Luminous Shards on them, they ain't blocking no more. So it's a useful tool to open up other players. Open up really tanky builds that you're going against for you and your group. Plus, it still provides a synergy, it gives magic back. It's a great skill. Breath of Life, hold it, block, cast Breath of Life, win, repeat. Don't be a Breath of Life spammer. People in PvP, this is what they do. This is what they do. I'm a healer. I'm a healer. Look, I'm a healer. This is not healing, people. That is not healing. Healing is rotating your buffs, cleanse, debuffs, heals over time. Don't be Breath of Life spammer. There's some times where Breath of Life spamming is useful when people are taking huge, big burst damage and you have to hold blocks so you don't die. But there's times where it's not. So make sure you're focused on resource generation and being cognizant of your magic, because you'll blow through magic real quick. Last ability up, there's 2 things that I use. One is a not mobile, massive heal. People think this skill sucks, and they are completely clueless. This skill is monster. Look at the radius, 20 meters, 4-second duration. The heal is ridiculous. Now it's capped at 6 people, but it's a damage reduction. This damage reduction provided by Remembrance also stacks with Nova, Veil of Blades, Resto Alt. So you can stack both of these together and just have ridiculous mitigation where you're not dying. Plus the healing is fantastic. Downside, it's not mobile. So for group survivability, Remembrance, no brainer. For self-sustainment, self-survivability, Spell Wall is really good, but like I said, it's not as good for a group. All right, back bar real quick, Rapid Regeneration. I take this morph and the Restoration Staff over Mutagen. The reason I take this morph over it is because it ticks more frequently. So if you look at Troll King, what is this? Troll King, when you heal a friendly target, that's really important because it's when, right? So if you have more opportunities to heal them, you're going to proc this more frequently. So you got to remember that this is two people is what this does. 4 people in your group, boom, you're going to cast it twice, right? 6, 3, so on. So what you need to do is when you're on the move, you should be casting this. You should not just be standing still doing nothing. Get your hots rolling so when you go into combat, you have some heals and you're likely to proc that Troll King without having to stop and do it. What I talked about Efficient Purge, going to use this as our group mobility tool and cleansing tool. Repentance, I still think this is useful over Radiant Aura in PvP because stamina is king. So if you're killing stuff, this skill is useful. If you're not killing stuff, it's not useful. Last ability for Adric Spear, you need Adric Spear on both bars because crit hit damage. Now this actually applies to your healing as well. So I don't really use puncturing sweeps because I really just heal. So what I use is Aurora Javelin. It's an annoying ass knockback. If you see someone throwing it, you know I spam this thing and people hate it, right? And it's great because it knocks people off and off of elevation points. And it's also really obvious if I'm leading the group who I want people to target. So I just chuck spears at them. Everyone knows, hey, go to that guy, blow him up. And the stun is great. Stun does not work if someone's blocking, but that's what you have Luminous Shards for. Okay? Healing Springs, you got 2 options here. The bigger the group, the more effective this becomes. Gives you back magic, heals like a truck, and the healing over time can stack. Healing over time can stack, that's also important for Troll King as well. So if you're playing in a smaller group, it's not as effective. And if you're playing and you really want to blow people up in your group, Combat Prayer. I mean, it's incredible. Minor Berserk for 8 seconds and that minor protection, minor ward and minor resolve. So before you charge in to an area, boom, splash this with DPS dust and take off. Last ability up is Panacea morphed into, I think it's Life's Champion, which is the resto alt that major protection, I think it's major force. Correct me if I'm wrong. So those are the skills that I use. Now I don't have this morph because I thought it sucked for a very long time. Turns out it does not suck. It's very, very good. It's basically you have 2 options of major protection, damage mitigation as a healer. So you're on the move, Resto Staff Alt. You're stationary, Remembrance. So it's just really key to time it, and it's low cost. So you're almost always going to have these suckers up. Gear remains the same. Now I do weird stuff with my gear. I actually enchant everything with stamina. That's not large pieces. So head, chest, legs, prismatic, max stat pool, then I do stamina. I do 5 end pen, 2 sturdy, and then 1 sturdy on the shield. That seems to work for me about what I'm doing. On the jewelry, I enchant it 1 recovery, 1 reduced cost, and then 1 spell damage. That gives me a decent amount of healing and sustain that I need to basically hang in there. The sets that I run, Troll King, it's incredible. I need to chant that prismatic. Where's my prismatic enchant? So, Troll King, what can I say about it? 1 piece, fantastic. 2 piece is utterly insane, and it's great to even run on a DPS build. Even a Stam DPS using Vigor. This thing will save your life countless times. You'll see it when we start PvP and how frequently it procs and how useful it is. Kagranax Hope, It's really good. It's not as good sustained wise as Seducers. So if you're playing in no CP, I'd go with Seducers over this set. And you see that I only have the 5-piece bonus active on my sword and board bar. So when you're going into resurrect someone, you need to be on your sword and board for that quick res. Now, people are going to die, and if you can pull off a CAG's res, it is likely to save your entire group from wiping. So I like this set very, very much. No CP though, go with Seducers, you'll still be able to sustain pretty well. And then I have a Master Restoration staff. Obviously not everyone's going to have this. Infuse, Cypher gave this to me. Infuse is great because it gives more stamina back. So that's why Healing Springs is even more advantageous. So you don't have to have it charged. It's fantastic. If you can't get this, just make an extra CAG's healing staff so you get the 4-piece bonus. So you see here my spell damage sucks, but healing is not based. Healing is based on spell damage, and it's also based on max magic, right? But there's so many amps to healing that you don't have to have big spell damage. You don't have to be in light armor. Because in fact, look what light armor gives you. People don't understand this. Light armor. What does the 5-piece give you? Spell crit. That's useful for healing. Spell penetration. That's 0 use to us on a healer, right? Heavy armor. What do we get? Spell damage. Okay, that's useful. Increase your healing received. Okay, that's useful. And ripping off heavy attacks restores more resources. Whatever reason, heavy armor in PvP is way better for healing than light armor. Not balanced, trust me. So light armor ain't worth it. Yeah, you can cast more, but you're only getting crit. You're not getting spell damage. So that's why we go with 5 heavy, 2 light. I think 2 light is essential for the reduced cost. So you can do the 1-in-1 for larger stat pool, but I'm telling you right now, do the 2, it will make a big difference. So that's why we use heavy armor over light. Last gear setup to talk about is the Sanctuary set, and what I think is the strongest healer set in PvP because it gives you a static amount of healing for you and your group. Even solo, this is fantastic. For some reason, people don't like wearing this or don't want to wear this set, and I don't understand why. But if you wanted more damage, Spell Power Cure is a great alternative, and I use it on my jewelry and 2 body pieces so I can maintain 5 heavy. Another good set is Transmutation. Crit resistance is good. It used to be much better when Monster Helms crit, when these proc sets crit. Now that they don't, I don't think it's as strong. So those are a couple options, but really Sanctuary 5-piece is a juggernaut solo or in a group. The champion points, so some of the weird stuff that I do, 27 in here reduce block costing plus our 3 traits. 2 here, you just need stamina, right? So 17,000 stamina as an Argonian means when I use potions, boom, I'm shooting up all my resources, and it's really beneficial. I do 70 in here. You can take these out, but a little bit helps me maintain stamina throughout the fights if I'm not killing stuff and repentances aren't going off. And then 73 into Magician. Come over here, 10 in Quick Recovery, just another amp to my self-healing. 79, 79, 11, and then 21 into Resistance. And then you just go simple. Keep it simple, stupid. 100, 100. I heal. I heal. I ain't killing stuff. You don't see me using Beam. You don't see me using Sweeps. You don't see any of that stuff. But you know what? I can heal like a son of a... I'm talking about getting 20,000 Breath of Lives in PvP. People will get mad at you. You're going to see this. So that's basically what's... the build is pretty much still the same. The gear sets still really work. And I'm going to show you how to play it because that's what's important. I can sit here and talk all day. So I'll try to give you examples of what my thought process is while playing this so you can just start getting in the habit instead of just, mindlessly watching me play.